huge night in the NBA. We've got 9 games, lots of clutch shots, career games for a lot of role players, some high-profile matchups with some movement in the standings, and we're going to go over the players of the week. Eastern Conference Player of the Week, Cade Cunningham, 31 points per game, 9.8 assists per game, 54.7 field goal percentage. Detroit went 4-0 during the week. Production so far, basically in line with last year, 56 true shooting on 30% usage. He has a 43% assist rate, so I didn't really touch any of his ratings with this award. The only really noteworthy thing was actually a potential decrease. His rebounds are down to like 11.5 or 12%, which would be like a 55 defensive rebound rating. I think that's just a function of Big Stu playing more 4 than he did last year. Last year he was more or less only a backup 5. This year he's been playing a lot of power forward next to Jalen Duren, so that's probably cut into rebound opportunities for Cade. But maybe his rebounds will go up as we're going to get to the Pistons in a second. They're dealing with a lot of injuries right now. Let's quickly step over to the Nuggets, the Western Player of the Week, Nikola Jokic. What a surprise. 31 points per game, 13 rebounds per game, 11 assists per game. Denver went 4-0 as well. Jokic was a lot more aggressive this week, only 20 points per game through his first 5 games, so 31 points, plus 11 in his last 4. The Nuggets did play some very weak front lines this week. They played Sacramento, then Miami in the game where Bam Adebayo got hurt, Golden State, where they ran an undersized Draymond lineup, and then Indiana, where they've got Isaiah Jackson, Tony Bradley, and Jay Huff as the centers. So Jokic definitely got to take it a little easy this week. On the year, 35 player efficiency rating, 73 true shooting, insane on 25% usage, 53.5 assist percentage. So which is number 1 in the NBA, 18.5 BPM, which is first in the NBA. He's led the league in that for the last 5 years. Jokic is just Jokic. There's not really much I could do to like boost his rating. The one thing I did do was just max out his pass vision, since he is leading the league with the 53.5 assist rate would be his career high in that regard. Other considerations for the awards for Player of the Week: Giannis, Jalen Duren, Cunningham, Donovan Mitchell, Norm Powell, and Karl Anthony Towns in the Eastern Conference. And then in the West, Devin Booker, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Trey Murphy, Julius Randle, and Alperen Sengun on the Rockets. I appreciate those kind of press releases where they let us know who the runners up were, because that also allows me to just check in with each of those guys and, maybe see if there's any, those are prime candidates for rating updates. Now, let's actually start off with the 9 games that we got to get to tonight. We're going to go to the LA Lakers, who played in Charlotte, moving to 8-3, 4th in the Western Conference, as they beat the LaMelo-less Hornets 121-111. Luka Doncic, 38 points. Austin Reeves made his return to action. He had 24 points and 7 assists. Rui Hachimura, 21 points on 9 of 12 shooting. DeAndre Ayton, 14 points on 7 of 10 shooting. So really efficient performance from their from their front court, in part because the guys in the backcourt were creating so much for them. And then even Marcus Smart got in on the action, 13 points, had 7 steals, played 37 minutes. Reports of his demise over the last 2 years were greatly exaggerated. He's been really good for them. Only 11 points from the bench in this game. It was all dominated by the starters. Obviously, the Hornets don't have a great bench themselves. They dropped to 3-7. Miles Bridges did most of the scoring, 34 points, hit 7 threes in this one. Cunningham had with 1 assist short of a triple-double with 19 points, 10 rebounds, 9 assists. I did get my rookie ratings in, I updated all the rookies, I should say, in this one. They all did get badge updates and pretty big boosts in the official 2K roster, so I just wanted to go through. Some of their badge updates from 2K were kind of crazy, so there's a few badges that I removed from those, but we'll go over that at a later date. Still a lot to go over in this breakdown. We're going to head back to Detroit, where one of the biggest games of the night ended up being The Pistons taking it over the Wizards 137 to 135 in overtime. This is a back-to-back for Detroit. They were able to win their 7th game in a row. Everyone was basically sidelined tonight. So Cade Cunningham had to take on an MVP caliber load. He had 46 points, 12 rebounds, 11 assists with 5 steals, 2 blocks, played 45 minutes. He was 14 of 45 from the field, so taking a shot per minute of action. 2 for 11 on threes, and then 16 of 18 from the free throw line. So even factoring the field goals plus the free throw attempts, he's taking more than he was using more than an offensive possession per minute. That is an Allen Iverson type of performance. If you recall those early 2000s Iverson's teams, one where they made the finals, where it was just Iverson as the only offensive player and then just surrounded by defensive players. That's essentially the performance that Cade had to do in this one. Obviously, against the Washington Wizards, it was a little more possible than against like a real NBA caliber defense, but still really, really strong line, a gutty performance all around. He actually left this game due to injury briefly, but was able to gut it out. Jalen Duren, 19 points, 14 rebounds, played 40 minutes in this one. I knocked him up to an 88 overall. He's been playing at an all-star level as well. And then Dennis Jenkins had the game of his life, sent the game into overtime with the corner three, and was one of the top performers in that fourth quarter. He finished the game with 24 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, 4 steals, played 34 minutes, 9 of 17 from the field, 4 of 6 from 3, 2 for 2 from the free throw line. Everything but the assists was a career high. So I knocked him up to a 73 overall, which is +2 from where 2K's got him at. I'm interested to see how his performance from tonight affects his overall stat profile. I'll be able to give a more accurate edit for him. But I did like boost stuff like his 3-point rating up to an 80. I'll go over that more once we get the stat breakdown again in a later video when we have less to go over. But other key performers for tonight: Javonte Green, got to get his rating up. 11 points, 11 rebounds, played 38 minutes, was filling in for Asar Thompson. I guess also worth noting that Caris LeVert was out in this one, which is why Jenkins had so much playing time available. Chaz Lanier also got some run in this one, 8 points, played 27 minutes, again due to the absence of LeVert. Pistons very short-handed in the backcourt. Also worth noting that they signed Wendell Moore Jr., waiving Colby Jones. Moore spent some time with Detroit last season. And then Ron Holland, disappointed again as a starter. 5 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist in 24 minutes. 1 of 4 from the field, 4 fouls. So he's really squandered this starting opportunity with Tobias Harris and Isaiah Stewart both sidelined. Hopefully he is able to get it going. Otherwise, he might be looking at a career as like a backup. If he's not, or like that's like Patrick Williams type shit. Let's go over to the Washington Wizards. They dropped to 1-10, but it was a very close game, very inspiring. They actually led for a lot of it. Jenkins, they gave up that corner three to Jenkins, which tied the game. So they were poised to actually steal a win against the short-handed Pistons. C.J. McCollum had 42 points in this one, 14 of 25 from the field, 5 of 10 on threes, 9 of 11 from the free throw line. He came up short a little bit during the overtime period, so he was probably like 14 of 22 heading into overtime or something like that. Like super efficient performance for him. Obviously, Cade Cunningham was doing so much offensively that he probably didn't have too much energy for the defensive end. But CJ has been cooking of late. It's a prime example, again, of why I don't overreact to shooting samples. He had 93 points in his first 6 games, 11.6 points per game. And then he has 92 points in his last 3 games, 30.6 points per game. So I feel pretty comfortable about not dropping his rating. I'd still have him as like the top-rated player along with Alex Sarr. Sarr, for what it's worth, had 15 and 15 in this game. Essentially outplayed by Jalen Duren, but still had a solid effort. Trey Johnson remained in the starting lineup with Bub Carrington going back to the bench. 10 points for him. And then Chris Middleton returns to the lineup, but he was kind of quiet. So Cam Whitmore, he stepped up off the bench, had 20 points, including a monster dunk that I recommend checking out. Let's go on over to the Orlando Magic. They actually were able to steal a win as well, moving to 5-6, playing a back-to-back, but they got one over the Blazers, 115-112. And Desmond Bane was the hero in this one, had 22 points, 7 assists, and hit the game-winning three, which was really a really difficult shot. He was 1 for 6 on threes, but he hit the one that mattered. So I still haven't dropped any of his shooting ratings yet. I'm still holding on just a little while longer. The most important takeaway from this game is that he led the team in three-point attempts with 6 after only taking 1 in the last game. So hopefully the Magic have found a little bit of religion in that department. Paolo Banchero, 28 points, 9 rebounds, but he was almost the GOAT in this one by missing 3 free throws down the stretch, setting up Desmond Bane's heroics. Franz Wagner, 19 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists. Overall, a solid game. I think pretty much everybody on the Magic just kind of needs to drop like 2 points in overall based on how they've been performing. Wendell Carter, I think, is fine. Jalen Suggs has been super efficient this year, but he hasn't been able to play much. No Suggs in this one due to the back-to-back. Wendell Carter, 19-9-5 in this one. Anthony Black got the start in this one. Tyus Jones only played like 5 minutes. He's kind of on the outskirts of the rotation, especially only for him to only play 5 minutes when Suggs is out. Not great. I got to get his rating down a little bit. Tristan Da Silva's rating up comparatively. Let's go on over to the Blazers. They dropped to 5-5 with this defeat. Third loss for them in the last 4 games. So they're back to 500. They're going to be more of a middle of the pack team as expected. Shaedon Sharpe had 31 points, which I think is a season high. Denny Avdia added 27. He's been great all year. Jeremy Grant, 17. And then Drew Holiday, 13 points, 7 assists for him. Obviously, still dealing with a lot of injuries in the backcourt for them. Let's go on over to the Miami Heat. They moved up to 7-4 on the season. They're now 3rd in the Eastern Conference, and they also had a crazy finish in this one. Andrew Wiggins had a game-winning alley-oop on an inbounds play. It was like a clear path alley-oop, total defensive breakdown. It's worth checking out the ending to this game because Donovan Mitchell, who we'll get to in a second, had like one of the most insane three-pointer catch-and-shoot threes in the corner. High arcing shot with like 0.4 left, and then for Andrew Wiggins to then on the other, immediately after with 0.4 on the clock to come back and win it with like an alley-oop dunk. Just, crazy stuff. But Norm Powell was the team leader for them, 33 points, 8 for 19 from the field, 4 of 9 from 3, 13 of 14 from the free throw line. He's been playing at the same borderline all-star level that he was with the Clippers. Maybe he'll have a better shot of making the team in the Eastern Conference. Wiggins, he added 23 and another start at the 4. Kel'el Ware had a career high 20 rebounds in this one, also adding 14 points. And then Jaime Jaquez also had a career high in rebounds with 13. He also added 22 points and 7 assists. I did get my rating in for Jaquez. 80 overall, plus 1 for him. His game-to-game consistency has improved a lot. He's double figures in 9 of his 11 games, shooting 57% from the field. Just a high-quality finisher, but not really much of a shooter. He's doing a lot. He's like really excelling in the Heat's new read and react offensive system that was employed by the Grizzlies last year. Because he's a high IQ player and good at slashing to the hoop. That a player like Jaquez, who's a good driver, not so much like an off the dribble shooter, is pretty much going to thrive in that type of system. Drew Smith, also I got his rating up to a 76, which is plus 3 from where 2K's got it at. I am cleaning up all the various role players as I have time. Let's go on over to the Cavs. They dropped to 7-4 with this loss. Uh, like I said, Donovan Mitchell tied it with this insane high arcing three with .4 left. In general, Mitchell's been balling out all year. 28 points, a career high 15 rebounds in this one, had 8 assists also, but was also only 3 for 16 from 3. But otherwise, he's been shooting really good from 3. Overall, he's averaging 31 points on the season with a 69 true shooting percentage heading into this one. 39 of 63 field goals from 3 to 23 feet. That's insane. 61% essentially on mid-range. And he's only assisted on 18% of those. And then from 3, he's 39 of 88, 44% heading into this one. And then assisted on only 59% of those. So he creates a ton of jumpers off the dribble. One of the best off-dribble scorers in the NBA. At a career high in free throw attempts right now for him also. 6.4. Actually, I need to boost that up. There we go. So I've got a 94 overall on him, which is a +1. I basically boosted his layup rating by 5. The draw foul you just saw, mid by 3, 3 by 2, shot IQ by 5. His percentages dipped last season, so this is more or less just like a course correction. Where the heck are they? Yeah, he's shot the ball better than he did last year. Right now he's at 53%, so obviously that number is going to come down, but I have a feeling he's going to fall more into this line in terms of efficiency, where even last year, like the 82% from the line was low. He did struggle a little bit with injuries last season. Speaking of struggling with injuries, Darius Garland had to leave this game. He had 11 points in 19 minutes, but he left with a left toe injury. Yikes. Which is the one that not necessarily the same toe that he had surgery on, but he had surgery on his big left toe during the off season. So if it's that same toe, I assume he might be out for a while if it's like a re-aggravation of the toe he just had surgery on. Hopefully we'll have some good news in the morning, but I'm not going to be optimistic. Cavs, of course, have really solid depth, but it was really nice to see them fully healthy for once. DeAndre Hunter had 23 in this one. Evan Mobley, 21, 10, and 5. Sam Merrill probably step back into the starting lineup if Garland has to miss time. 12 points, 4 of 16 from 3. All of his field goal attempts were threes. He came in leading the league in true shooting percentage, 81 true shooting percentage. Probably not leading the league now after the 4 of 16 performance. Caps, for what it's worth, were 21 of 65 from 3 in this one, which is only 32%, but that is a franchise record in three-point attempts, 65. Holy cow, that was more than half of their shots. Let's go on over to the Spurs, who moved up to 8-2 on the year, 121 to 117. Wemby had 18 points in the fourth quarter, compared to the Bulls, who only had 19. And he finished with 38 points, had 12 rebounds, 5 assists, 5 blocks, 11 of 19 from the field, 6 of 9 from 3, 10 for 10 from the free throw line. He basically called the game by clearing. He hit a 3 against Nikola Vucevic with like 40 seconds left, and then he called for it again on the ensuing possession, calling for a clear out essentially, so he could then take Vucevic off the dribble for like a step back back-to-back threes to close it out and ice the game for the Spurs. Stephon Castle was solid in this one. Finally looked like a real point guard. 19 points, 11 assists, only 1 turnover in this one. Had a lot of lobs to Luke Cornett in this one, who made his return from injury. Had 16 points, 6 of 6 from the field. And he played down the stretch in the fourth next to Wemby, so they did a lot of Wemby at the 4 in this one. And then, of course, De'Aaron Fox, his second game back, 21 points, 5 assists. He had 6 turnovers, so he has been taking some of the playmaking burden from Castle, but hopefully that's allowed Castle to perform a little better on that end. I got to get ratings in for a lot of the Spurs, especially now that Fox is back and we have a little bit of more clarity on what their actual rotations and lineups are going to look like. Let's go on over to the Bulls. They dropped to 6-4. They were without Josh Giddey in this one, who sprained his ankle from the literal ankle breaker that he suffered against DeAndre Hunter in the last game. So Kevin Huerter stepped into the lineup. He had a season high 23 points to lead the Bulls. Trey Jones, he also had a season high 20 points against his former team, the Spurs. Ayo Dosunmu also stepped up with 20 points. And then Vooch, aside from the defense, he struggled on the offensive end versus Wemby. 11 points on 4 of 14 shooting. Obviously, dude has no vertical whatsoever, and he's going up against a guy who's like 6 inches taller than him, if not more. I don't know, but the 6'9" height, is actually. I don't know. I don't know what teams have accurate heights anymore. I guess that's a 9-inch disparity, or 8-inch. I don't know, whatever it is. Anyway, he got clowned. Jalen Smith, he was solid again off the bench with double-double in limited minutes, 12 points and 11 rebounds, probably doing a lot of that in the time where Wemby wasn't on the court. Let's go on over to Milwaukee. They moved to 7-4, winning back-to-back, 116 and 114, holding on against the Mavericks. Giannis, another solid game, 38-6. Ryan Rollins with 13-8. Miles Turner added 14, but on 3 of 12 shooting. Kyle Kuzma essentially was the hero in this one. 26 points off the bench in 32 minutes. Kuzma, for his part, 64% true shooting on 20% usage. 51 true shooting on 24 usage last year. So he's much more efficient. Obviously, some of his Wizards funny, clown show basketball numbers bled into that, but he wasn't particularly effective with the Bucks either last year, so he's playing a lot better. I've got him at a +2 overall. I did boost his free throw rate to a 72 +9. Last year, he was career worst, 63% from the field. This year, he's at 83%. And then he's 72% for his career, so we're essentially splitting the difference there. +10 to his shot IQ, and then +20 to his offensive consistency. I had that minimized to a 40, and then +10 to his defensive consistency. For what it's worth, Gary Trent Jr. had a season low 3 points. He's been in single digits the last 4 games. He was in double figures in the first, in his 6 of his first 7 games by comparison. So he's kind of got cold of late. Worth noting that Taurean Prince is out indefinitely with a herniated disc in his neck. So between Kuzma's emergence and the injury to Prince, it's possible that Milwaukee makes a lineup change at some point. Otherwise, expect a larger role for Amir Coffey in the interim. Let's go on over to the Dallas Mavericks. They dropped to 3-10. 3-7 on the season. They're not that bad yet. Cooper Flagg had one of his better games, 26 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists, 9 of 15 from the field, 1 of 5 from 3, 7 of 10 from the free throw line in 35 minutes. PJ Washington added 16. But worth noting, Brandon Williams got the start in this one, 19 points, 3 assists, 4 of 12 from the field, but he's really good at getting to the free throw line, 10 for 11 from the line in this one. D'Angelo Russell, 7 points in 16 minutes. He's been really struggling, so this is a good lineup change. Brandon Williams is probably just the better player at this point. They need as much creation as they can get in that starting unit. So, the Mavs just don't have anywhere near enough offense to win most basketball games. Max Christie had 13 points. Klay Thompson, he had 6 points, 2 of 7 on threes off the bench. I got to get him underneath Christie in the near future. Daniel Gafford, he's still playing. He's on his minutes limit. He played a season high 23 minutes, had 7 points. But he hasn't been great. And Musa Cisse, he played 20 minutes, had 7 points. He's essentially ahead of Dwight Powell in the rotation. It's not the greatest. The Mavs are not a great team to really discuss while they are so short-handed right now. Phoenix Suns, they move up to 6-5, 121-98 over the Pelicans. Monster game for Grayson Allen. I got to get his rating in. Career high, 42 points, 12 of 17 from the field, 10 of 15 from 3. I assume the 10 makes are his his career high, and then 8 of 10 from the free throw line. He hasn't had 40 since his rookie season back in 2019. Devin Booker had 19 points as well. Dylan Brooks added 18. Suns have had a soft schedule, but nobody thought they'd be 6-5 at this point. I think people kind of wrote off Booker a little more than they should have based on last season. And they've also undervalued, I think, what vets like Allen and Dylan Brooks bring. Allen in particular has been awesome this year. I think maybe Jalen Green's injury ended up being sort of a blessing in disguise, as they essentially are. It looks like they are going to be contending for a play-in spot, and they're probably more of a real team than like the meme that is the Sacramento Kings. Going over to the Pelicans, who were hoping to also be in that play-in mix, but not looking particularly likely right now. They dropped to 2-8. Zion's still out, so Murphy again led the team in scoring with 21 points. Jeremiah Fears had 15 points, but also only 1 assist to 5 turnovers, and he shot 4 of 13 from the field. That's what you're going to get games like that out of your rookie point guard every now and then. Sadiq Bey added 15. He's been solid after missing all of last season due to injury. Offense without Zion, though, is pretty much a struggle. Derek Queen was solid off the bench again. Yves Missi, for what it's worth, was available but did not play. That is pretty damning. So I did tank his intangibles to get him lower in the rotation. It looks like Kevon Looney is going to be the starter. So let me actually boost Looney to an 80, and then actually maybe I should just max him out for the moment just to get his rating all the way up and essentially minimize the number of minutes that Missi is going to be playing in the rotation. I probably got to get a rating edit in for Missi as well, as it looks like Queen and Matkovic, they are both playing over him. Yeah, let's get Queen a little higher if we can. Yeah, I'll max him out too, sure. Okay, yeah, see, we made some headway. We got Queen over Missi in the rotation. Baby steps, baby steps. Let's go on over to the Wolves, who they moved to 7-4 on the year, 120 to 113 over the Utah Jazz. No notes. I mean, Ant Edwards, 35, Randall, 27, Rudy Gobert against his former team. Another efficient offensive game, 14 points, 12 rebounds, 7 of 8 from the field. Maybe he goes back to like an 85 or something whenever we check in on him. But let's go on over to the Jazz. They're a little more going on there. Keontae George, 27 points, 6 assists to lead the Jazz. He started at point guard, so Isaiah Collier came off the bench in this one. He had 5 points, 7 assists in 16 minutes. I think he more profiles as a backup point guard rather than a starter. Ace Bailey got his first career start, 10 points, 7 rebounds, 4 of 7 from the field in 28 minutes as Taylor Hendricks was out for this one. Markkanen essentially started at the 4, 21 points, 8 rebounds, and then Yusuf Nurkic, 6 points, 11 rebounds, 2 for 11 from the field, 1 for 3 from 3, 1 of 4 from the free throw line. Just awful efficiency for a center, essentially back to his old tricks after having a promising preseason. At least he's helping the Jazz tank some games, which they probably wouldn't have been able to do if Walker Kessler was healthy. Going over to the Hawks, they moved up to 6-5 on the year, 105 to 102 over the Clippers. Vit Krejci had a career high. There he is. 28 points, 9 of 13 from the field, 8 of 10 from 3, coming off the bench. Porzingis added 20. And then, oops, I got to reactivate both of these guys. I'll do that at the end of the video, as we're almost there. Jalen Johnson, 16 points, 10 rebounds, 8 assists in his return from 1 game absence. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, he remained out, which is what allowed for Krejci's big night. And then the LA Clippers, I don't know what to say to this team about this team. They dropped to 3-7. Harden had a triple-double. He's doing everything he can, 35 points, 10 rebounds, 11 assists. But yeah, they're really offense-starved right now. John Collins actually looking like he's going to be the starting moving forward at the 4. Starting against his former team, But Ty Lue said that they would stick with him as a starter for a while, as they've really struggled with rebounding. So he had 9 points, 7 rebounds, 3 for 11 in this one. Kind of struggled. And then Zubats added 13 points and 12 rebounds. I need to get his rating down a little bit. He's not quite as good offensively as he was last season. I mean, Derek Jones and Chris Dunn, they both added 11 each. That's pretty much the offense. Bogdanovich was a DNP CD. Chris Paul was another DNP CD. I don't know, like, I think it's a little early to be benching both those guys in favor of Cam Christie, who was 1 for 7 in this game in 18 minutes. But the other note is, well, I guess I have two notes. One is that if Ty Lue says that John Collins is going to be starting for the near future, then that would seem to imply that Derek Jones Jr. would return to a bench role once Kawhi Leonard gets healthy. That would be my guess, unless they plan to start one of those guys at the 2. But I think Chris Dunn makes a lot of sense at the 2 next to James Harden. And Bradley Beal, he's out with a hip injury. He's getting testing. So we'll see if, he's missed the last couple games. He's been on a minutes limit, essentially, only playing like 20 minutes a game. He's been a real disappointment for the Clippers. They traded Norm Powell for John Collins because they anticipated Bradley Beal being able to replace a lot of the offense that Powell brought them. And Beal, essentially expecting to be that third star. That's one of the major reasons why a lot of people picked the Clippers to be a lot more successful than they currently have been. So, yeah, we'll see. But it looks like things are starting to go off the rails kind of quickly in LA. And if that continues, maybe we see a fire sale for all of these veteran players that they have. So, yeah, that's the video. Thanks, guys, for watching. Hope you enjoyed this huge breakdown, and I'll see you guys tomorrow night. Peace out.